Welcome to Carter's Retro Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing Spot Goes to Hollywood for the Sega Saturn. Now, this game was actually a sequel to Cool Spot, but a lot of people don't know an interesting fact in that this game had its own sequels as well. Some that never saw the light of day, and as soon as I tell you which ones, you'll completely understand why. The first one is Spot goes to the doctors to get that rash checked out. Now, I can't see how they can make any more than just 2 levels out of that, but there you go. The next one is Spot goes to Auschwitz, and it also got the expansion pack, Spot goes to Dachau. Now, I can completely understand why that never left the creative floor. The next one is Spot goes to Iraq, which was practically just a first-person shooter with our beloved Spot. That one, I actually would have liked to have played. I would have paid money for that. Anyway, that's an interesting fact that a lot of people just don't know. When we see articles talking about the blatant advertising where they're either a product alongside a game or something actually in the game, I think of that McDonald's video game on the Mega Drive, or Chester Cheetah, Too Cool to Fool on the SNES, or Cool Spot. Chester Cheetah didn't actually make me eat Cheetos, it was just a coincidence that I would eat them while playing that fucking god-awful Super Nintendo game and be covered in both a bright orange Cheetos dust and dried semen. I have nostalgia for the game, sure, but I can also see it for what it really is, and that is fucking dreadful. I originally played Spot Goes to Hollywood about 2 years ago, and was planning on doing a review which didn't pan out at the time, and in a way, it's a good thing that that's the case because my first impressions left me with a hatred that is as deep as the day is long. I had absolutely no appreciation for the game, which followed by Dark Savior, and sadly, I didn't care for that either. Maybe I had a bad day or something, because after replaying Spot Goes to Hollywood again right now for this review, it's quite enjoyable. While it's not perfect, yeah okay, it suffers from a few problems, but before we get to it, the game was developed by Burst and published by Virgin. It was released on the Mega Drive/Genesis, Saturn, and the PlayStation got a look in as well. It was released in all 3 territories for the Saturn. Okay, now we can get to it. At first, I thought the presentation of the game was alright, nothing spectacular. But then I went back and realised it starts off with an intro video that was actually pretty cool. Then onto a menu presentation, which isn't bad either. It was laid out in an organised fashion and looks above average. Then follows through with the in-game presentation that seems to be pretty good, minus the font that was used in the game. Something irks me about that. There wasn't a whole lot on screen to really comment, but I like it like that. The game has an isometric perspective which makes the game harder than it should be, and it's not to say that they never did it again after this generation of gaming, but it was improved upon in such a way that I have a better feeling on where I stand and where I jump. Not to have it be the talking point of the game, which only adds to the difficulty. I will say that it was ingenious the way the backgrounds require very little work because of the angle the whole game is on. But short of that, everything else is quite good. Animation is good, detailing is alright, and the colour it's okay. It looks roughly the same as he did in Cool Spot, so a lot hasn't really changed there. Sound was okay. Just okay. Nothing amazing, although the little pops when he collects a Cool Spot was a little satisfying. It wasn't the controls that were the issue because they were responsive enough. Any less, and this game would be an absolute fucking mess. The 2 key issues for me were the level design and the difficulty. The level design wasn't bad, but nothing that really filled me with amazing memories. They're not fucking woeful, but it's easy to see how a sequel to Cool Spot could be ignored when some of these levels were ho-hum as they were, and yet other levels were quite good. With any platformer, you need to have the ability to change the environment and still have it be a ton of fun. If nothing else, the fun factor in this game was inconsistent. Some levels I could play over and over again, others I did because I died a lot, and that they were like guilty sex with an ex. You just wanted to get it over and done with. The weird thing is that it didn't entirely detract from the overall fun I was having. The difficulty I feel probably goes hand in hand with the level design more than I think it does, in the way that some early levels were hard as balls, then there would be a level or 2 afterwards that was super easy, before I slipped right back into hard territory again. Also, I didn't feel compelled to collect the spots and really do 100% on all the levels. I could race through the levels and be okay with that. Also, aiming to make a shot was hard. It wasn't impossible, but if you didn't hit something on the way through, to go back and hit it was trying and a little annoying. It also really feels like the only thing they gambled on in this game is the isometric perspective, as the rest of the game is quite safe and standard in terms of the platforming genre. The replayability is pretty limited due to a one player with one mode. Would I recommend this game, even though it feels like a negative review? Yeah, I would. It's not a strong recommendation by any stretch of the imagination, as the difficulty and level design need work and are wildly uneven, but you could do worse. There's enough here to keep you interested for a while.
Wow.